Finally, man, it's been so long, and I'm so happy to finally be bringing you this video. Fun fact, if you go over throughout the entire history of the channel and you try to look for a video detailing this player, you're not going to find any. This is literally the first time we have made a dedicated video to talking about this guy, and it comes 3 years after the Vancouver Canucks acquired him in a trade for Jonathan Dahlen. Last time we spoke about this player, it was in a very somber video I made. I was in my first year of BCIT radio. I was in the booth at the recording studio SE10, and I was talking about how I was upset that the Vancouver Canucks traded away Jonathan Dahlen, who is breaking into the Sharks system as a pretty good middle six forward, for this player right here, Linus Karlsson. Now, back in 2019 when the trade was made, Karlsson was an 18-point and 52-game guy in the Allsvenskan. He had been drafted that previous season in 2018, and a lot of people were kind of looking at this and saying, dude, Jonathan Dahlen is like so good. He is in the Allsvenskan as well, doing better than this Karlsson guy is. He was in Utica doing pretty alright too. Why did the Canucks trade away Dahlen for Karlsson? Well, you give it a few years, and all of a sudden Linus Karlsson has started to show himself off in a much better way, playing in the Allsvenskan, playing eventually in the SHL, and now if you take a look at where this guy is in his development, it's kind of staggering to take a look at just the progression he has taken. So, Linus Karlsson, if we go over the profile right here, is 22 years old, so you got to keep that in mind. This guy is a little bit on the older side when it comes to, you know, top-of-the-line prospects. This guy right here, though, 6'1", 179, a center right-wing player with a right-handed shot. He's unsigned by the Vancouver Canucks, and he was drafted in the 3rd round of the 2018 draft by the San Jose Sharks. This is the scouting report they have from 2018. He's got good size and good goal-scoring ability, fine hands and overall offensive skills, very good hockey sense, and great character. He's got a nice shot that combines his ability to read developing holes in the offensive zone. He has a quality game from the face-off dots to the end boards per draft in Europe in 2018. Despite that, though, in 2018, as we noted, he didn't really do all too well point production-wise. He was really good in the J20 Super Elite, which is why he got drafted where he did, but in 2018-19, where he played in the Allsvenskan for the first time, he really didn't get things together right away. His next year, in 2019-20, saw him put up 22 points in 36 games for Karlskrona, but then after a trade getting sent over to Karlskoga, he put up 18 points in 12 games. The next season saw him put up over a point per game, or excuse me, just under a point per game if you include the playoffs where he had 15 points in 11 games played for that team over there. But this season is where things started to come alive. Playing for the Skellefteå AIK in the SHL, Linus Karlsson is currently sitting at 45 points in 51 games played. That is an absolutely huge progression in overall development from the Allsvenskan in 2020-2021 to the SHL in 21-22 with the amount of production he has had. In fact, if you take a look at Linus Karlsson in his recent few games, this guy's 26 marker of goals is quite significant. Here's how. So you take a look at March 15th against Leksands IF, Linus Karlsson gets himself 2 assists, and he's got himself 2 points on the game, so there you go, good for him. 2 days later, against that same Leksands team, he scores himself a goal and a assist. A assist, 1 assist. So, he's got himself another 2-point performance, 4 points in 2 games, no big deal. Give it 2 more days against the Beniers IF, he scores himself another 2-point night, this time both those points being goals. One of the goals, the last one he scored, was pretty significant because the second goal, a one-timer on the left side where he absolutely grips it and rips it, reminds you of a quote that some other Canuck player went out there and said, yeah, Linus Karlsson went out there and tied Elias Pettersson's rookie goal-scoring record with his 24th on the year against Beniers. Now, that's not all, because give it a few more days and against the Luleå Hockey Club, you have yourselves Linus Karlsson getting another 2-goal night. So there you go, 8 points in his recent 4 games, and he's got 5 goals in that span as well. Linus Karlsson now has 26 goals in 45 games. He has broken the SHL's rookie goal-scoring record, which was held by Elias Pettersson from 2017-2018. Elias Pettersson, back in that time frame, was a rookie, an 18-year-old rookie in the SHL, suiting up for his draft plus 1 year, and that 24-goal marker in 44 games was the record for a few years. Now, I know what you're thinking. It's cool that the Canucks have a prospect in Sweden who has broken Elias Pettersson's rookie goal-scoring record because Karlsson is still technically a rookie by SHL standards. He played one stint with Karlskrona in the SHL in 2017-18, but that's not good enough to remove him from rookie consideration. It's great that he has gone out there and done this, but he has played more games. He's got 51 games, played on pace for 52 games, whereas Elias Pettersson had 44 games in his rookie season in the SHL. And also the fact here that Pettersson was 18 years old in this year, 18 turning 19, I believe. Linus Karlsson turned 22 back in November, so he's a lot older. It's not comparable to go out there one for one and say, oh, Karlsson broke Pettersson's record, he's going to be better than Pettersson. No, he's a lot older than Pettersson. If a 22-year-old Elias Pettersson suited up in the SHL, he probably would have had a lot more points than he did in his rookie season, where he had 56 points in 44 games. That's like saying if Pettersson from last year suited up in the SHL now. Imagine how many points that guy would be getting. But still, even though the Elias Pettersson comparable is not a good one in this situation, you still have the statistical overall analysis that says that Linus Karlsson right now is tied for second in the entire SHL for goals. He is also tied for 9th in total points, which is great. Let's go over onto Dobber Prospects and look at what Dave Hall has to say. This was written in March 2022 about Karlsson and his game. With a fresh 2-year deal in the SHL, Karlsson's future as a member of the Canucks depth chart was unclear at best. That narrative has swiftly changed thanks to a stellar year with Skellefteå. With 20 goals, now 26 goals, the 22-year-old finds himself comfortably in the top 5 league-wide, effectively catching the eyes of the Canucks brass. Reports now indicate that Karlsson will look to sign with Vancouver following his season, finally crossing the pond to join the organization on a full-time basis. Of course, having been dealt for a now budding middle six player in Jonathan Dahlen, fans can now rest easy with the course of Karlsson's development. In the short term, AHL deployment is likely the safe option. However, do not be shocked to see the versatile forward creep up in mid-season promotion talks as early as next year, 2022-2023. Now, what exactly could Canucks fans be expecting once Karlsson makes his transition to Abbotsford and or Vancouver? Well, this scouting report from 2020 from Cam Robinson kind of speaks to that. His shot is nice, the anticipation and awareness are legitimate, yet skating remains a serious issue. He needs to add better quickness and overall speed if he has true aspirations of becoming an NHL regular. That was a year and a bit ago, so hopefully the skating has indeed fixed itself up. But aside from that, the shooting mechanics, the overall offensive lethality, it's all pretty good. You notice that the guy has really good form whenever he gets the puck towards the goal. Also the fact that he shoots the puck a lot. Karlsson has 25 shot attempts in his last 3 SHL games. That's an average of 8.3 attempts per game, which is phenomenal to say the least. Here's what Rick Dhaliwal said when it comes to his text message conversation with Linus Karlsson. Linus says that it feels very good, and I feel very proud to score that many goals. I play with very good players, and I work very hard with my off-ice training. And then when it comes to the idea of signing, he says, we will see what happens after my season, but my goal is to sign with Vancouver, and I hope so. And so for next season, 2022-2023, the Vancouver Canucks will likely have themselves another Swede inserted into either Abbotsford or Vancouver's lineup. It will be Linus Karlsson, and he will be making his transition to North American hockey. I'm really intrigued to seeing how he's going to work out, because of course, the last time the Canucks had an SHL goal scorer that was doing things like this was Elias Pettersson, albeit Pettersson was significantly younger, and you can't go out there and say that Karlsson is going to be Pettersson. But just the prime ability of being able to put the puck in the net is something that I think a lot of Canucks fans could be looking forward to, and especially when you remember other Swedes that Canucks fans have been excited for playing in this league in the past. Not just Pettersson, but the other one that comes to my mind, aside from Jonathan Dahlen, is actually Anton Rodin. You remember him? Yeah. Anton Rodin was taken a long time ago, and I think a lot of Canucks fans kind of remember the hype. I certainly remember towards the mid-2010s thinking that Rodin was going to be a top 6 forward with the Sedins. Unfortunately, that did not happen. He was sidelined with injuries, but Nevertheless, hopefully Linus Karlsson will go out there and fulfill those needs. So let me know in the comments all your thoughts about Linus Karlsson, the entire prospect profile he possesses over here. Do you think he's got an NHL ceiling? Middle six, top six, power play trigger man? Whatever. He's got a right-handed shot, so if you want to go out there and replace Brock, there is indeed an option over here. And I know a lot of people are going to be ticked off because I said that. But either way, you can let me know in the comments all your thoughts about Linus Karlsson. I hope you enjoyed this British 99. And bye.